According to a new analysis out this week from the Washington Post, the Trump administration has effectively violated 1/3 of the court rulings against them since taking office. Just a couple days ago, obviously, Donald Trump hit his 6-month mark in the Oval Office as President of the United States. And since then, there have been more than 160 court rulings, substantive court rulings, in the more than 300 lawsuits that have been filed against him. And of those, what's the exact number? 165 rulings. The administration has refused to comply with 57 of them. So more than 1 in 3 rulings against them, this administration has said, "We hear you, Judge. We just don't care." More on that in just a second, but first, a quick word from today's video sponsor. I want to take a moment to tell you about a great new book available now by author Stephen J. Klubeck called Facing Hard Truths: How Americans Can Get Real, Pull Together, and Turn Our Country Around. Successful businessman, activist, and philanthropist Stephen J. Klubeck shares his proposals in Facing Hard Truths for creating an America that is more affordable, livable, and opportunity-rich. The founder, former CEO, and chairman of Diamond Resorts is a 2026 candidate for governor of California and has a reputation for transforming dysfunctional companies and lessons learned over a lifetime of public and private sector experience. And in his new book, he taps into his business acumen and offers solutions for our national concerns like immigration, crime, cost of living, and the coarsening of political discourse. Rising from California busboy to the boardroom, Stephen Klubeck relies on the action-oriented principles that drove his personal success to outline a plan that will take America from failing back to flourishing. Stephen Klubeck is an entrepreneur with more than 30 years' experience across every aspect of hospitality, and he's the author of Checking In, Hospitality-Driven Thinking, Business and You, and he's the former chairman of the State of Nevada Athletic Commission. His new book, Facing Hard Truths, shows us that effectively navigating the future depends on a reaffirmed commitment to integrity, collaboration, respect for rules and norms, something we haven't seen in this country in a while, economic inclusivity, a return to competence, putting others first, and fostering of social trust. Now, personally, I love that he includes putting others first. Now, that is something that is definitely missing from not just our political leaders, but it seems to be something that's being lost on us as a society as a whole. To me, that's the most important thing we need to get back to in this country. So you can find this new book, Facing Hard Truths, by going to Amazon.com or using the Amazon app, or simply click on the link in the description of the video to order your copy today. So 165 substantive real court rulings where a judge has specifically said you have to do this or you cannot do this. And of the 165, 57 of them, this administration has said we're either going to keep doing the thing we're not supposed to do, or we're not going to do the thing that you're telling us we have to do. That's 57 times this administration has effectively been in contempt of court. And yet, not one single time out of all these 57 times has this administration been held in contempt of court. Now, if you or I were to do that one time, we'd be in jail immediately. Probably by that afternoon, if we did not immediately comply with the ruling. Trump, of course, is apparently above the law. I don't like to say that, I don't like to think it, but let's be honest. Donald Trump's above the law. It sucks. It shouldn't be that way. He's not supposed to be above the law, but he is. And there is no other way to say that, because if he can break the law, if he can violate court orders and not get in any trouble at all, then that effectively makes him above the law. If he has this immunity that the Supreme Court has granted him, and all presidents, by the way, then he is above the law. And if he's above the law, that means he can break the law. And if he can break the law and get away with it, that means he is in fact a dictator. That is what we have in the United States today. And the reason, of course, that these judges do not want to hold the administration in contempt is because to do so, because these are federal officials, you have to use the U.S. Marshals. The leader of the U.S. Marshal Service is, of course, appointed by the President of the United States, so you would effectively be asking one of Trump's own appointees to go ahead and arrest Trump or your other co-workers. And judges are afraid to do that. They have the authority to do it. The only thing stopping them is their own fear that maybe the U.S. Marshal guy doesn't do it. This is ridiculous. These judges, who have lifetime appointments, are afraid of Donald Trump. Why? He can't fire you. He can't replace you. He literally can't do anything to you other than get on Truth Social and say, oh, this mean old bad judge, I don't like him. And yeah, MAGA's going to go crazy into a frenzy over you. But it's also your job. Your job is to make those tough decisions. Your job is to do the things that nobody else in this country can do. And if you're not willing to do it, then you do need to go away. You do need to step down. Although, please wait until Trump is out of office, because otherwise he will get to replace you and we'll have like a 20-year-old MAGA incel judge on the bench for the next 70 years. We don't want that. But if you're not going to hold Trump accountable when you deliver these rulings against him, then you are effectively useless. Welcome to the Ring of Fire YouTube channel. I am Farron Cousins, the host of Ring of Fire here on YouTube. I don't know if this is your first time here or maybe you're somebody who comes here every single day, but either way, let me tell you what's going on. Ring of Fire was actually started in the year 2004 by none other than our own America's lawyer, Mike Papantonio. And over the last 20 plus years, Ring of Fire has gone from being a 1-hour weekend radio program on Air America through a series of changes. Go Left TV, which we started back in 2007. We've been on the Young Turks network. And of course, this very YouTube channel here that started obviously as they all do with no subscribers. And we've now ballooned to well over 1 million as we go on our way to that 2 million mark. So again, if this is your first time here, make sure you subscribe. Take a few minutes, look around. We have content that actually goes back 20 years. So there's lots to see, there's lots to do. And trust me, with the next 4 years of Donald Trump getting back in office, we will be here every day, every single day with fresh content for you, to keep you informed about what's happening and, of course, to warn you of the potential dangers that Donald Trump poses as we approach his second term.